Good evening, viewers. I just decided to stream tonight because I haven't drawn in a while. Got the house to myself, and I have no excuse to not be drawing. So, like last time, I'm going to be drawing some ladies and gentlemen in turtlenecks. Oh, that was such a perfect circle I did the first time. I don't know how clean this needs to be. Yeah, I think I prefer the roughs. I'll still try to clean it up. I'll copy the head and work around that. I haven't drawn in a very long time, so I'm just very particular about what I'm doing. I'm overthinking everything. The reference photo doesn't have visible legs, but I'll draw her in flats. She's not. What should she be doing with her hand? Maybe she's holding a purse or something. Should I add eyebrows, or is that too much? Should I make a movie? I've been thinking about making a movie. Like, what's stopping me from just making a feature film? She doesn't need a pocketbook. She'll just have her hand down for some reason. If anyone is wondering about the music, the last few streams have been copyright striked, so I have only public domain songs playing now, including this one by the U.S. Army Marching Band from the 20s or so. There she is. She's coming along. Now I just want the arms to be visible. Oh, wrong layer. Also the wrong layer. What? Ah, I see. What is happening? Here we go. That's one lady. I like her pose. I'll do her now. very unique face shape. I'm not going for realism. Something like that. Which is a very long torso. She could use a more rounded chin than the one I drew. So hoedown over here to hootenanny. These are all just the creator music songs I've saved on YouTube for my essays that the algorithm loves to hide. My last two videos, long form, that I poured my heart into, just completely and utterly flopped. And I'm a little disappointed about that because I worked very hard on those. And I need to afford rent. So I was hoping the ad revenue would come in clutch, but that's YouTube. It's fickle. So I might do another Oni Plays animated. People like those. Those always do well. What's been going on in my life? I was in Texas for a week. My girlfriend is writing, producing, and co-directing a indie feature out there. And so I was helping out, and I will get producer credit for my work. It's a live-action, coming-of-age drama. You know, I should put on my Instagram story that I'm streaming. My friends don't really know that I do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Can you include a link in an Instagram story? I think you can. Yeah, you can. Alright. I gotta copy the link from YouTube real quick. I'll let you just look at what I've drawn so far while I'm doing all this. I am live, aren't I? I have to feed my cat now that I've realized. I'm gonna step out 1 second. The live stream's not showing up on my phone. I don't understand it. Yeah, there we go. Copy. Just posted it to my Instagram story. Yeah, I like the idea that this girl just has a very long torso. I like doing unexpected things with character design. I don't know. Hello, welcome to the stream. I haven't done this in a minute. It's a big earring. That's like a donut. I think the last time I streamed was sometime in the last 6 months. It's not gone well. Still on the hunt. It's not a good year for jobs. So if you've noticed an uptick in YouTube content, I'm trying to make that ad revenue, because rent is not cheap. That's alright. I'm used to it. I'm somewhat comforted in that most of Gen Z currently is struggling to make ends meet, so at least I know it's a collective. We're not suffering alone. Alright. Yeah, it's brutal. Especially in entertainment, you know? I'll do her. She has very distinct eyebrows. I can't wait to draw those. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. It is tough. There have been some highlights. I was in Texas the last week working on an indie film. I'll be getting producer credit for that, which is nice. It's a live action coming of age movie that my girlfriend, the lovely Isabel Adele Brown, is co-producing, co-writing, and acting in as one of the leads. And she's been working her butt off on that. It's like she's in one room trying to scout locations and get permits and hire talent and write a script, and I'm out here editing essays that the algorithm hides and mass applying to jobs that I won't get. So we're both working our butts off, and it feels like very little is happening. But we are both doing very creative projects, which is nice and is exciting. And I love the project that she's doing. I love that I'll be getting producer credit on it. And we had a good shoot. I'm not always on a live action set. But I also contributed some ideas to the story. So I may also get story credit. Which is always a plus. Other than that, very little is happening in the animation world. Few projects are being picked up or greenlit. I see friends of mine occasionally announce jobs, which I'm very happy for them. But I'm wondering, where are these coming from? Also, this song is way too dramatic. The last few streams have been ineligible for monetization because of the music I listen to. So I'm listening to YouTube creator royalty-free music that I've saved to use in animations and essays. And she's got a stern but like confident look. That's not a frown. She's smiling, but it kind of is a frown. That's it. That's the mouth I want. Very fine line to cross. I'm terrible at drawing lips, by the way. My Giuseppe animation, the #1 comment I would get on that is that, are those his lips, or does he just look like that? So I gotta get better at lips. Yeah, I have all these songs saved for use in essays, and I've been working. I don't know what's happening with YouTube's algorithm lately. I don't know if I'm making bad thumbnails, but all of my new videos have just been flopping. They've been doing horribly, and I don't know why. I don't know I've had videos do surprisingly well before. I don't know if that well is dry or not, but I worked really hard on the last essay of mine, and no one is seeing it. And in my situation currently, I rely pretty heavily on ad revenue to pull through. Thank you very much. I think that the algorithm favors more established creators, obviously. Also, I went for a month or a month and a half just without posting, and one of what I posted is not a essay. It's a random miniature building tutorial, and I think the change in pace threw people off. I also don't think people recognized my channel from that. Could have used a better thumbnail, could have benefited from a lot of things, a shorter pace. If you're curious, I have my miniatures on the shelf here. Let me turn the lights on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, nobody watched the miniature video. Yeah, I thought that, like, you know, because I exerted myself so much to get that miniature done in time for the party, that I thought the light at the end of the tunnel would be, oh, this is going to get a lot of views too, and I'll make ad revenue money. And then I wind up making, let's see how much I made from that. I'm going to pull up my YouTube analytics for my audience. I've been posting a lot of shorts lately because those tend to get a lot of views. I don't get a lot of money from them, but they do get views. If you ever wonder what YouTube creator analytics look like, this is how they are. Content. So here's my Pixar essay, my ranking, or your ranking, sorry, with yeah, it's just flatlining. I don't know what's happening. I've only made $2.50 from that. And then after going all out for a straight month to build this miniature, I get $1.81. Better than the Pixar video did better. Yeah, algorithms isn't in a rough spot right now. I know that these two videos at the very least are evergreen in that they're the kinds of videos people will come back to, and they won't really go out of style or fashion, so I could keep promoting them indefinitely. And for now, I'm just kind of trying to salvage that Pixar ranking in the form of shorts that you'll be seeing uploaded. I just know that the bulk of my viewers subscribed to me and came to me for my Oni Plays Animateds, and I think a lot of them are just kind of thrown by what I'm doing. So I might... It's been nice to have a captive audience, but the algorithm's not doing me any favors, so I think I might have to keep doing some Oni Play stuff. Hi, Hazel. Hi. Are you in the stream? Are you part of the stream? Is the camera picking this up? My lovely cat, Hazel, just joined the stream, everyone. Say hi, girl. Yeah? Did you pick that up on camera? Anything else? I got back from Texas yesterday, and Hazel has been so clingy. She keeps jumping on my desk and laying down and rolling all over my keyboard. I've never seen her like this. I think she just really missed me. and she misses Isabel, who's still in Texas. I came back a couple days early. She wanted some time to hang out with her folks. I should really be live streaming more often. I think being in a relationship and living with someone has made me a lot less lonely and a lot more occupied with enjoying myself, living la dolce vita, where this has been a weak period in terms of content output. So if I'm looking to make YouTube a more serious thing, I'm gonna have to start live streaming more. I'm gonna have to start doing more nights like this, which I'm enjoying myself. I'm liking this. If you're wondering about the music I had mentioned earlier in the stream, I have to use royalty-free music. So this is the United States Marine Band playing The Bachelors. No one's coming after me. Hopefully not the United States Marines. Ah, yeah. This sounds like it's from the 20s. I have a story idea that involves the 1920s that I would like to turn into a feature one day. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm cheating a little. You don't see the negative space on her right arm here, but I'm giving her very broad shoulders, very sharp shoulders, so I'm just having fun. That's what animation's all about, is caricature. I'm not at all trying for realism here. Trying to do a lot of body types tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna color in all of her outfit black, but I will make the leather pants shiny. Coloring in Photoshop is no fun at all, I gotta say. I miss having Toon Boom Harmony because the paint bucket tool would actually fill things in. In Photoshop, I have to use these stupid shape tools and double the amount of time I spend on a project just to fill in these lines myself in color. That's cool. It's a very secret agent of her. It's very cumbersome. Yes. I've heard good things about Procreate. A lot of artists use Blender for 2D drawings. Blender really intimidates me. I've been trying out some 3D renders with Blender this year. It's one of those New Year's resolutions that you stop doing at the end of January. And it's just really hard, man. See, this is Gremio Polka by the United States Marine Band. There we go. Yeah, she looks badass. Alright, join the others. Yeah, Blender... Sorry, Mr. Message. Blender has a lot of great 2D options as well. I don't know if you've seen any Hey It's Wabi shorts on YouTube by the artist Wabi, but he posts Blender tutorials of drawing 2D in Blender, which it really offers a lot. It's a great free resource. It's just so intimidating. I'm such a bad learner for new programs, unless it's in the workplace. But new art programs are especially finicky. They're built for savants. Like, you'll start one tutorial video, and then you'll have to watch 3 more just to keep up with step 1. I think I drew this girl last time. I need a face. She'll do. Yeah, I wonder if I have any of my Blender stuff accessible here. I could show some of the 3D renders I've done. Got a lot of files. That's not it. This would have been in January of the new year. Let's see, it's not in my documents. I'll probably save them to downloads. Yeah, here we are. Here are some renderings that I made in Blender. All I did was just find free furniture available on the internet, like Sketchfab, and I just threw together a little coffee shop. Although I did model the building itself, and textures are no fun to add. But what I did was try to create a proof of concept for a coffee shop that has miniatures on the shelf. If you look closely, you'll see miniature displays of cities, like I build with my Sunset Minis brand you can see on TikTok. And so I just wanted to throw this together in case, you know, all else fails. I have this idea to fall back on. So that's what I did in Blender back in January. Anyway, let's draw this sweet lady. Yep. She has a lot of life in those eyes. There's like an optimism. Those eyes are going to be very hard to draw in my art style. Yeah, this head shape sucks. I'm just trying to be unique. She does have a hopeful twinkle. That's what I need right now. She's got a very little, small smile. Very kind of uncertain smile. I used this song in my Pixar essay. It was when I was talking about Toy Story 4 and people's opinions on it. No, no, no! She's got such a hard face to draw. Oh, these eyes are gonna kill me. I always, like, for whatever reason, try to avoid eyes like this where you see the whites. I always try to do dots and try to work around it. Probably because I like to challenge myself. Probably because, I don't know. These eyes in isolation just feel very cartoony to me. It's a very OCD thing, but maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try both. Yeah? What's up, Hazel? Hazel just squeaked. What's up, Hazel? What's going on? Yeah? Yeah? Wanna come on the stream? Yeah. What's up, baby? I think she's just not used to having someone around constantly. Yeah, the dot eyes are so charming, but you know how you can just tell looking at a person whether or not they'd have these eyes or these eyes? I think she has these eyes. Which I never draw eyes like that. I'll keep experimenting. The mouth is all wrong. I don't want her to look too much like the photo. When in doubt, I always turn to Charles Schultz because he was the king of dot eyes. He could do anything with dot eyes. If a character was shocked, if their eyes were all the way open, parentheses. If a character was like rolling their eyes, you do something like this. And then very rarely, I think like one of Snoopy's cousins has eyes like this. So I would consult some Peanuts right now, but I don't think I have to. I'll figure this out on my own. She's got big pupils, that's the thing. I think I just drew the eyelids too big, maybe. Yeah, that might be the solution here. If you're wondering why I haven't posted a new animation in a long time, this is why. It's because of decisions like this. But I think I just solved it. I think I got her. We got him. Get out of here, eyes. Can you guys see my miniatures? On the white shelf in the way back, you can see the lights. It's very cozy at night. Okay, now I just need to figure out the head shape. I don't want to do this girl wrong. The modern cartoon solution would be to give her a big CalArts face, and then you could make her all pretty with the hair. But I want to see if I can do a unique head shape. I love those challenges where it's a bunch of crazy shapes on a paper, and you have to try to figure out how to make those into shapes. You know, that kind of thing. I want to give her a big blobby head like that while still keeping her pretty, you know? No, it's a very hard thing to do. No, too big. Hey! No, I don't like it. Because she doesn't have a pronounced chin. She's just kind of round, but, you know, I want her to have a unique head shape like all the others. It's like whenever a cartoon has a celebrity cameo and they're voicing themselves, like Phineas and Ferb, the characters all look like wacky alien people, but then they'll have a celebrity on. And it's just like very detailed. So I would like to keep it consistent. Cheekbones, she does have cheekbones, yes. When in doubt, turn to Me Maker and look at the head shapes there. I don't know that we're gonna solve this in a way that I like. This just looks like almost a tracing of her. Because her chin doesn't point, it's more of a flat line. I don't want her looking too realistic. Those eyes are just such a, like, window to a deep soul. I kind of want to just make the eyes really big. This never usually works. It just ends up looking like a weird alien. But in her case, maybe. I remember for my Giuseppe video, again, Giuseppe's wife, or ex-wife, I gave giant, beautiful eyes to. And a tiny little mouth. I think I gave her hair like that. Because those are windows to a deeply hurt soul because of what happens to her in that story. I didn't expect so many close-ups though, and I have close-ups of her where her eyes are just kind of, yeah. It looks charming in this sketch, but I would have wanted more time in the context of the Giuseppe thing. You know what? I like the head shape I drew for her. Maybe I just grafted this onto this, because this is way too realistic. Hold on. All right, let's see about this. This reminds me of that one YouTube video of that guy trying to make a Lego minifigure of The Rock. I did it! I'm so proud of myself. Yeah! This is what drawing's all about. All right. The hair is too caricatured. I need to bring it back down to where she's at. But her hair's wavy. Her hair's wavy. It ends kind of there. Some amazing fluff to it. If you're wondering, by the way, what design review meetings on animated shows are like, you're seeing it. It's lots of deliberation, lots of back and forth about, is this in the show style? Is this too out of the show style? Oh, I miss being in that room. Add some sparkle to the eyes. Oh, she's lovely. She has a bit of a cleft chin. I don't know if I have room for that. There we go. Gotta add some hairlines now. All right, so that challenge is out of the way. I gotta remember how to draw fun shapes for human heads, or else I'm gonna forget how to draw altogether. Yeah, she'll be, yeah, there we go. Let's see. I made the shoulders a little too wide. Hi, welcome to the stream. I haven't done these in a while. Every so often I'll feel so inclined. We have a good time here. I'm drawing ladies in turtlenecks tonight. She's in jeans and a very long shirt. I think we still want a gap between the legs to match the photo. Alright, you can let me know if I'm doing ladies in turtlenecks justice then. There we go, one single stroke line all the way from here to there. I like incorporating things like that into my art whenever I can. I think Cartoon Saloon instilled that into me. That and Al Hirschfeld. And Eric Goldberg paying tribute to Al Hirschfeld. Oh, I like that. It's like a class of 3000 kind of look. I don't know if you were on stream earlier, but this reference photo, I had a very hard time trying to capture the essence of her face and spirit in a convincing way. I try to draw very stylized people that aren't very realistic, but people who you recognize and are believable. A caricature, essentially, effectively. I've been doing all right. I'm still on the job hunt. I don't know if you hear that. We have a howl going in the neighborhood right now. There are sirens, and we have a bunch of coyotes out here in Hollywood, and they love to howl at night if there's a siren going by. But anyway, I'm on the job hunt still. Job market's very bad. So if you see a strange uptick in YouTube content from me, that's why. The algorithm hasn't been too good to me lately. My last 2 uploads have just completely fallen on their face for whatever reason. So I'm gonna have to be scrappy and resourceful. I'm gonna do more live streams, hopefully. I'm gonna do more shorts. I uploaded 2 shorts today. That's a lot. Yeah, there we go. She'll do. Who's next? Oh, I gotta do that look. Yeah, she's begging for a drawing. Let's just take a close look at who I've drawn so far. I wonder, in as few lines as possible, will I be able to capture this girl's essence? Half her face is bangs. Yeah, I just need to color in the lips, I think. The lips could be more fun shape, though. Yeah, that's it. That's a pout. All right. Very different vibes from the last girl. This is like the innocent, sweet girl, and this is like the tough girl that'll protect her. I don't know. She has a nice, round, thick turtleneck. This is looking good. Her bottom half's cut off in the photo, so I'm gonna have to improvise how it looks. How's everyone in the chat doing? We all holding up? I know a lot of my followers found me through my Oni Plays stuff. What's the chat's reaction to the Smiling Friends news? Maybe she's wearing boots. Like platform boots. Yeah, platforms. Platform like Sandy Cheeks boots. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked too. But you know, I think it shows creative integrity on Zach and Michael's parts. You know? I think they were just goofing off when they pitched the show and created it. They didn't expect it to become so big. And they're probably on to bigger and better projects. I would hope. There's a big, bright future for Zach and Michael. Michael especially, he's a machine. He was working on so many shows at once. Yeah. Michael's gonna be okay. He's probably already working on like 10 new things. And Zach was clearly the breakout guy of the whole thing. He's secure. And I'm curious to see what he does next. Hey, maybe we'll get him on Oni Plays again. Maybe I can do more animations of him. Like old times. I'll draw a Zach. I haven't drawn a Zach in a while. Usually these guys come out on stream. I always have him put his hands in his pockets. There he is. We'll do Chris for good measure. There are the guys. Tomar with his big, sympathetic eyes. There they are. Distinct shapes. Miss those guys. This girl looks too real. She doesn't look caricature enough. If I make her face rounder, that might help. Here they are again, the United States Marine Band. I'm playing royalty-free stuff because I want to make ad revenue from this stream. Oh, where'd they go? There they are. Marines! Almost lost you. I still feel like she's not caricatured enough. Maybe I could continue to tweak her. Still haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm so thrown from being on Dallas time. Thank you very much. If you have any strong turtleneck opinions, chat, feel free to share them. Yeah, okay, so there we go. There's the pairing. That's the sweet, lovely girl that everyone loves, and that's the girl that stands up for her. The she said she wanted no pickles friend. Who's next? Who's the next lucky lady? I'll draw you. Yeah, it's kind of a different body type too. I'll just show the chat what I've been doing. I was explaining, I've been in Texas for the last week working on an indie feature, which I'll be getting producer credit for, and maybe story credit for. I suggested some things with my lovely girlfriend, Isabel Adele Brown. It is called the Turning Year. Not that. If anyone would like to donate to this, I will be dropping a link to the Indiegogo in the chat. I will have a producer credit on that. It's very exciting. We were on set, we were on location in San Antonio. It's a slice of life, early 2000s. If you're into that, you're gonna have a blast with that. All right, let's do a nice caricature version of this lady. She's got kind of a squared off face. In a good way. All right. Looks like a Lego woman. Lego minifigures have always bothered me because they all use the same body, so there's not a lot of like body diversity. Also, I miss the era when Lego minifigures were just this. Look how cute and stupid and unassuming that looks. Now they're like very detailed and anyway, she will not be a Lego woman. You will see. Hoedown music. Woo. These are all just public domain songs I've saved for my essays, which have all been flatlining lately. Algorithm has not been doing my essay content any favors, despite how hard I worked. This woman has no idea I'm drawing her right now. Isn't that funny? Someone could be drawing me, and I'd have no idea. Ah! I love that turtlenecks always have a sleeve that's way too long. That's fun to draw, mainly because I get to cover up the hands, and I don't gotta worry about those. So in regards to my latest videos, like flopping, I'm just trying to do more YouTube. I'm trying to get, I think, a healthy use of my time is to just draw and hone my craft. The job market is brutal right now. This is the longest I've been unemployed. So I'm just, this is a lot better than brooding would be. And, you know, out of this, I'll have had a good chat with my fans and I'll have a portfolio piece, you know? If this is good enough for that. I don't know that it is. Some of these free songs are actually really good. I dig this one. I used this one in my latest video, the Pixar ranking, I think when talking about Incredibles 2. Which, if you'd like to see, I did a new video that the algorithm is like shadow banning for some reason of me scientifically ranking all of the Pixar movies. It's a really clever like premise for a video. I'm bummed that it is not doing well. Or I actually put a lot of hard work into it. I found like over 400 rankings of Pixar movies online, and I averaged them. I did the math to figure out what the optimal consensus is that the public has, and like have the most like data-driven, definitive sort of final ranking of these. So if you're curious, before Hoppers comes out in theaters, link to that video is in the chat. But if you want to keep watching this, I understand. I'm just going to keep plugging myself because I need the ad revenue. But if you're also out of work, just know that's all right. Our whole generation basically is. We can commiserate together here in chat. There's not enough. There should be more flat lines here. This hip should be more pronounced. this gap between arm and, yeah, that's it. That doesn't look enough like stretch marks. There we go, that's jeans. Now I gotta complete this lady. I gotta see where the jeans end up. Should she also be wearing boots? I don't know. What do women wear? Maybe some sandals? No, no one wears sandals and a turtleneck together. I just feel like she's not caricatured enough. Maybe I should just add more straight lines like that. It's kind of becoming a hallmark of my style. No. This is the straight line. There we go. Yeah, that's her. Let's see everyone so far. Alright, who's up next? Yeah, let's try it out. She's doing kind of a tricky pose, but that's alright. I need to draw more like the first two. They are so stylized. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I've been trying to diversify my content lately. I was kind of whining earlier in the stream about how my audience clearly favors my Oni Plays content, but I mean, I'm alright with that. Algorithm has not been kind to Me. Oh, we got a donation. We got a donation. I have a thing going in the chat where if you donate $5, I'll draw whatever car you want. And Isabel Brown, 1856, wants a vintage Carmen Ghia. I'm going to do that. Carmen Ghia is a... Hold on. Something wrong with the stream? I'm getting a buffer. Chat, can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, if it's smooth, I'll go ahead and proceed. The Volkswagen Carmen Ghia is a lovely automobile. It looks like a sports car. It really isn't a sports car. What it is essentially is it's a Volkswagen Beetle chassis that has been given this beautifully designed body by the design firm Ghia and released. There were a lot of cars that were kind of factory kit cars that were done that way back in the 50s and 60s, and the Carmen Ghia was no different. So if you get a Carmen Ghia, don't expect it to be a speedy car. It's a very beautiful car, and it's affordable too. It's a Volkswagen, a vintage one. And so a lot of people from a lot of countries had these, including the friend of the mother of who requested this drawing. I'll go ahead. We've been texting on the side. That's Isabel Adele Brown, my lovely girlfriend, requested that I draw this Carmen Ghia for you all tonight. For those who don't know her, Isabel Adele Brown is lovely. I'm saying her full name because she's a big part of the Turning Year film. Let's see, the A-pillar would be there. It's kind of a small little cabin. That's it. And it's got these funky fender-looking lines curving out. It's like Susie the Little Blue Coupe, that old Disney cartoon. Yeah, I was texting her on the side. Can I say that it's you? Can I? If you've seen some of my latest videos or essays, you'll see cameos from the lovely Isabel every so often. And we've discussed maybe doing a video together at some point on some topic. She loves literature and literary discussion. Jane Austen, Jane Eyre. She's been thinking of starting her own channel, maybe. One of the main problems that the Carmen Ghia had was it's a beautiful car. If you look closely at the body, there's like barely any panel gaps. If you look at a modern car, like I'm just gonna look up a modern Volkswagen Jetta. they are designed very efficiently to be efficiently repaired. Like, let's look at the modern Jetta here. There's a gap here. This is the front bumper. There's a gap here for the hood, obviously, but there's another gap here for the A-pillar that extends. There might be another gap up here separating. There's a gap here separating the side step there. There's a gap here for the rear bumper. The Carmen Ghia had no gaps. So if you got a dent in your Carmen Ghia, you were screwed. You just had to live with it. And the front end of the Carmen Ghia is kind of bulbous. It sticks out like that, almost overhangs the bumper a bit. So the very first thing that would usually get dented on a Carmen Ghia was that nose. And so if you see a Carmen Ghia that's kind of worse for wear on the road, it'll more often than not have a dent in the front. And some resourceful, scrappy car enthusiasts have gotten around that by putting these kind of fake grills at the front of their cars to cover up the dent that they had gotten. But yeah, look at all this extensive repair work and weld work that this guy has to do just to repair the nose. That's the costliest part of owning a Carmen Ghia today, would probably be that repair. Anyway, the significance of the Carmen Ghia for Isabel to suggest it is I just built a miniature commission for Isabel's mom. And Isabel's mom's friend had a Carmen Ghia way back in the day when they were a common car to have. And when trying to figure out what car she should have in the diorama, I said Carmen Ghia, and she said yes. Here is what I built her. This really was a gorgeous car. If a Beetle was too strange looking for you, you had this. And the Beetle was a strange car. This is a very pretty car. I'm gonna step out for 1 second, stream. Alright, I'm back. Even YouTubers have to go potty sometimes. Yeah, classic cars are amazing. It's always a treat seeing any of them in good condition, in poor condition, just surviving images of them. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm going to show the Carmen Gia on screen for 10 seconds. Isabel Adele Brown can take a screenshot if she sees fit. She'll also be back in LA tomorrow, so she'll just and we share a roof together, so I could just show her there. So 10, 9. All right, that's long enough. All right, ladies, I'm drawing another one of you. Oh yeah, I decided to draw you. I don't know if Isabel's posted anything to her YouTube, but I don't even know if she has a subscriber. If anyone's interested in subscribing to her, she's in the chat. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted this girl on frame because I like the way I drew her best. And I want to have some like weird curvature to the arm like I did, like a Hirschfeld drawing. See, it's always difficult to do dots for eyes because you gotta have eyelids and eyebrows, and that can become redundant. So sometimes I include both, sometimes I do one or the other. I think this time I might do one or the other. Not a fan at all. I hate drawing in my art style because I'm very particular. I could very easily just do this. But I don't know who wants to see that. This is always more interesting to me. Yeah, I did all the drawings in my essays. Steve Jobs is a very particular guy to do a caricature of. I think I did something like this. He also is always in a turtleneck. I did one great caricature of him, but in the scenes where he's talking to Pam Kerwin at the desk, I struggled. Well, if that's the case, why not just put him on another movie? Yeah, that one also bombed. I really liked that essay. I worked very hard on that. that might be it. Might have solved it. Yeah, there we go. She's kind of shaped like a star. I might lean into those curves. Oh, thank you. I'm really touched by that. I don't, often hear praise for my essays because they aren't really done any favors by the algorithm. But I try to do a balance between, those behind the scenes DVDs and essays and essayists on YouTube that I love. I've been on YouTube for a long time, both as a creator and a viewer, and I watch a lot of essays. There are some that I really enjoy. There are some that I click off immediately. And if I'm watching one that I'm less enthused by, I'm kind of pretentious about it, and I go, oh, I could do it better. I could do it better. And so once I became unemployed, I figured, well, time to try it. Time to put my money where my mouth is. Oh, I love that. I love that curve. That's totally Rhapsody in Blue. That's total Fantasia 2000. That drummer fella. It's like. Yeah, it's my favorite. When I'm making my videos, I try to think, all right, not everyone knows what I'm talking about. So I make it thinking, like trying to imagine, what if like Pete Docter was watching this? Will I come off as hacky? Will this be entertaining to someone like him who's been through this stuff? Am I being fully factual? Like, am I getting all my facts right about what went on? I'm talking like I'm this like all-seeing authority, but I was not around in 1995, I don't know what goes on at that place. Am I being too psycho analytical about their student films? I don't know these people. They're like famous public figures, but I gotta maintain what's the word I'm looking for? Due diligence, I guess. I love when a caricature comes together. I know turtlenecks aren't always this shape, but that's how I always draw them. It's like in my Oni Plays Giuseppe video. All the patty caps were just shaped like that, no matter what angle you saw the people at. I make my essays, I think of my brother when I'm making them. I think of what makes him laugh. I think of my dad. I think of, will my sister find any of this interesting? I think of my mom. I think of my friends who, like, none of my really close friends work in entertainment. They all work in finance or accounting or general business management, and so, or engineering. And so I try to, make sure that this is accessible to them, while also people who know every fact about Pixar will get something out of this video too. And even if I'm explaining a fact that they know, I try to do it in a new way or an interesting way that makes it nice to hear again. or that makes them go, ah, he knows what he's talking about. I have a lot of pet peeves for essays about media. Something you'll never see me do is I hate when you see a video essay and it's like 45 minutes long and you're like, I'm set, I'm jumping in, and like 40 minutes of it is just the person describing the plot scene by scene. You know, I try to include, if I'm going to summarize the plot, I don't go over 2 sentences. Like, you know, I assume that the viewer either has or hasn't seen it, and if they have seen it, great. If they haven't, I'm gonna talk about what needs to be talked about. My latest ranking video was a great exercise in that because I had to talk about 29 movies without having the video be 8 hours long, you know? So I did not go over 2 minutes with any of my Pixar movie summaries or breaking down people's opinions of certain movies. So that was a fun exercise. I was so looking forward to big success with that video, and it just never happened. Hasn't happened yet. I was saying on stream earlier, with that ranking video that didn't do well, and my Pixar video game video that didn't do well, and my miniature building video that kind of flopped, these are evergreen concepts. These aren't based on any trend or current events. These are the kinds of things that people will keep coming back to. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I try to be careful. And I also try to tiptoe, you know? People in animation watch videos about animation, you know? And chances are there are people at Pixar that will see or have seen my videos, and I don't want to be critical of Pixar. I want to be factual and celebrate Pixar because it's one of my favorite studios. It's what made me want to get into this crazy business. And so I figured a good way to describe these movies is not how I feel about these movies, but I just described the research of how I found the public feels about these movies. I do have my own opinions, but you won't hear them from me on this channel. This isn't a movie analysis channel. It is, but it's not a movie opinion channel. It's all for the love of the game, all for the love of the art. But also, I gotta afford rent, and you know, I gotta make videos that the algorithm favors. The algorithm favors controversy. The algorithm favors yelling at each other and being hypercritical, and that's just not me. I'm not a very histrionic kind of guy. I have my opinions, and I'm very casual about things. I have strong opinions, but I don't really yell about them, you know? Ask Isabel if she's still in chat. I'm very level-headed about very few things make me lose my temper. Even keeled, that's what I'm thinking of. My music stopped. To remove that particular song, and I might have to unless you're listening to music on your end, that's really loud. Another essay pet peeve of mine, skits. I don't do skits. If an essayist starts doing a skit in the middle of their like review or analysis, I check out. I can't handle it. I don't know how long this is going to be. I came here for analysis. Not everyone in the world is funny, you know? There she is. I got her essence nicely. Although skits done right can provide insightful commentary on the thing that they're talking about. I find that creators like Drew Gooden and Danny Gonzalez use skits in a very great way to illustrate their points, make their videos entertaining, and you know, they're legitimately funny. But there's that thing of like, you'll see a lot of YouTubers do, like, I'm the evil bad guy, and you have to review this movie, or else. Ha 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 ha. That's not really my speed. I'm being very mean to this model. I'm not trying to make it look like her at all. I'm just kind of riffing. I haven't drawn in a long time, so I'm just kind of having some fun here. This head does not look like her at all. It's not my intention to make it look like her. Nor am I making a comment about her appearance. I just need a skeleton that I can add my pen and ink to. I'm sorry to hear that. Plug it in the chat. We got some viewers here. We got some animation fans here. I think, you know, as I get more tired, I just get, you know, progressively worse at this. I'm getting pretty out of it, but I gotta power through. this right now. Drawing it this There we go. Who's gonna that's it. There we go. There's tonight's ladies. stream. I'll probably be posting this. I'll post this on Patreon, actually.